And it's going to be the Jazz off the tip. The starters for the Utah Jazz. Ingles outside with Favors at power forward. Rubio teams up with Mitchell in the backcourt. And it's Gobert in at the 5 down low.
I think the one constant with Tom Thibodeau is you can always hear his voice the entire game. Doesn't matter if you're up 20 or down 20, you will hear Tom Thibodeau on the sideline.
Now here's Rose. Drills it from outside. Rose has got himself on the board with 3 there.
And as he's tried to preserve his body to play a complete season, Rose has begun to lean more on that outside jumper.
Rose with the block. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. On offense, here are the Jazz. And hearing Coach Tom Thibodeau, some have described his voice as part growl, part bark.
He's very intense, Kevin, and I think the one thing you know about Tom Thibodeau, he likes to say, there is a price to pay. It's all about the work you put in.
Now, here's Mitchell. Favors sets the pick for Rubio. To the inside, and Derrick Favors with the slant.
Boy, that's the vision and ability to deliver precise passes. Rubio completely on point.
On its way from Rose for 2. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there.
From the opening tip, he's been active and working for good looks. He's been pretty accurate.
Mitchell kicks to Rubio, to the middle, Ingles, and the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
No, I didn't either. I thought his feet were moving. It was close, but he was still sliding in just a bit.
Pass to Towns. There's Rose with the 3, and another 3 for Minnesota. Jazz have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Rubio against Rose. Feeds it to Favors. And they pick up 2.
Boy, Favors has been efficient in the paint throughout his career. This guy is so crafty at getting excellent position.
Karl Anthony Towns, a tremendously talented scorer, but Dorsey came into the league billed as a potentially foundational defensive player.
And that's interesting, Kevin, because that's the end of the floor where he has work to do. You know, there's so much asked of today's centers, but with mentors like Kevin Garnett, Taj Gibson, Jimmy Butler, you know he's getting the right advice. And boy, what a gifted offensive player Karl Anthony Towns is.
And here is Mitchell, following the 3-pointer by Derrick Rose. Gobert the pass to Favors. Ingles kicks to Rubio. Favors with the screen. 5 on the clock. Utah needs to get off a shot here. And the shot is long.
Boy, that's just the kind of tight defense you need to play on him. Any kind of room at all, and he'll bury it.
Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Rose against Rubio. He kicks it to Favors. Mitchell in the corner. And the 3 off target. Timberwolves leading by 7. Left side Gibson. Outside Rose. And another 3 for Minnesota.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz. And Doris, the Wolves, a lot of promise, but how do they deliver?
I think Tom Thibodeau says it best, Kevin. It's the little things. The magic is actually in the work you put in every day. No shortcuts, no easy way out. There's a price to be paid for winning in the NBA.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Gibson. And it's Teague in for Butler. Outside Teague. And there's the pass to Towns. The kick out to Rose. 1:58 left in the first quarter. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. You know, Doris, many thought Jay Crowder might end up to be the steal of the Irving Thomas trade, but he had a rough start in Cleveland, as you saw.
Well, sometimes, Kevin, the fit isn't just right, but it's amazing he goes to Utah, and all of the toughness and the defensive abilities are exactly what the Jazz are looking for. So sometimes it's just about fit.
That savvy little up fake there. Cool in the D. Rose has got 16 points.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Gobert with a screen on Rose. Now here's Exum. D right on him. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
T kicks to Wiggins. Down low on the left block. And here's Rose outside. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Now here's Allen. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. On the wing, Cephalosha unloads from 13. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Rose passes to Teague. Towns kicks to Rose. A three-pointer. Wiggins. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And the defense is in disbelief here. Triple after triple.
Exum dishes to Crowder. Allen outside. Back to Crowder. Nice ball movement by Utah. There's the pick. Allen outside. For Utah, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And that one falls for Allen. And he makes both free throws.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Wiggins against O'Neal. And Chang kicks to Towns. Over Gobert. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Chang.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they built this lead. They played as one, shared the basketball, running their offense to perfection.
Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Timberwolves lead by 11. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. Tough-nosed Jimmy Butler talks about the mantle of being a franchise player.
You call me a leader, all-star, whatever you want to call.
And that's what he worked for. And he works as hard as anyone, Greg, in the NBA.
And you see that competitiveness and desire in his play.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Timberwolves team out there.
Playing smart in this first period. Credit their unselfish play.
Well, the assist total is skyrocketing at this point, actively looking to set up their teammates. I'll tell you, love the way they're playing.
On the floor for Utah, getting going here in the second quarter. Crowder is the 4, and Gobert is the 5. Exum and Burks, they're back. And it's O'Neal in at the small forward. Doris, at times out there, things get a little heated. Some people feel like the whistle's being blown too quickly in some of these technical fouls. What do you think?
I would actually completely disagree, Kevin. I think there are certain players who are given far too much latitude and others for whom the whistle does come too quickly. So I think it would be better and more helpful to the officials, the teams, and also the fans to understand what is and what does cross a line. Because to me, there's no consistency, there's a lot of confusion, and I think it works both ways. Sometimes too long of a leash, sometimes too short.
Excellent appraisal. Here's Exum following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That's his first foul. Minnesota making some changes. Gibson comes in for Towns. And it's Jimmy Butler in for Andrew Wiggins. Derrick Favors checked in for Utah. Ricky Rubio comes in for Exum.
Well, that's just total unselfishness from Derrick Favors. He is always ready to set screens with that great frame of his.
Jones kicks to Zhang. And Derrick Favors picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Guys, that's number 2 on him. And they do not need him to sit right away. But one more foul before the half, and he'll be headed to the bench.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And the Jazz call time here. Gorgui Dieng, the 21st pick in 2013 out of Louisville. He's more than lived up to that selection.
Well, let's remember, this is a national champion we're talking about. The Louisville Cardinals won it with him anchoring them defensively. He's also shown a nice shooting touch in the mid-range game in the professional leagues. But I think it's his defense that still remains the strength of his game.
Donovan Mitchell's checked in for Utah. Crowder kicks to O'Neal. Tipped away. Takes the 13-footer. Jump shot is good. And it's 6 points for Derrick Favors.
Well, I think at this point, he's proven, Derrick Favors, that you've got to respect his mid-range. He is capable when given room.
Here's Butler. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. And the Timberwolves lead by 16. Quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. And O'Neal gets it to go. O'Neal's got his first points of the night.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Here's Teague, and again it's Minnesota.
Oh, my goodness. The defense looking helpless in that instance, doing all they can. But ultimately, Jeff Teague beats them with better offense.
Now, here's Mitchell. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Rubio. Nailed from three-point land.
How good is that pass? Certainly makes the offensive opportunity easy.
Jones against Rubio. That's a 2 from Butler. And again, it's Minnesota.
Now, really found his stroke here in the second quarter after missing everything in the first.
To the paint. Here's Favors, and the rejection by Dieng.
Well, the timing, a very natural aspect of what Gorgui Dieng does on the defensive end.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Rose, he's checked in for Minnesota. Utah also making some changes. Thabo Sefolosha is checked in for Jay Crowder, and it's Joe Ingles in for Royce O'Neal. Here's Butler, outside Rose. From deep three-point range, and Gorgui Dieng is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Jazz trail by 15. Many had wondered if the Jazz would rebuild after they lost Hayward. Turns out they just, Doris, reloaded.
Now, give the Jazz organization from the top down a ton of credit, because after losing Gordon Hayward, they didn't mope or feel sorry for themselves. They got a bona fide star in Donovan Mitchell in the draft, and this is a team that's got talent in the post-Hayward era, and they are going to be a factor.
Sefolosha kicks to Rubio. Just 5 on the clock. Over Rose, and he gets the jumper to drop. Rubio's got 7 points. Timberwolves leading by 13. There's Rose with the 3. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
Listen, he's been a key component of their offense tonight, efficient and effective.
Pass to Sefolosha. Nice ball movement by Utah. Takes the 3. And Utah, another 3.
Boy, the scary potential of Donovan Mitchell overall as a scorer. If it's a consistent three-point shot in his arsenal, forget about it, guys.
Now here's Rose. 22 points for him, and that one drops.
Boy, the consistency he's had tonight has been impressive, really steady from the field.
Utah calls timeout.
You know, when you're the Utah Jazz, you've got to look at the trades that have been made the last couple of seasons. Ricky Rubio and Jay Crowder both fit stylistically into both the offensive and defensive schemes. Both of these players provided major minutes for this ball club.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Minnesota. Wiggins comes in for Tyus Jones. Utah also making some changes. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Favors. Allen comes in for Mitchell, and it's Exum in for Ricky Rubio.
I'll tell you, Joe Ingles is proving that as a passer, he is a special player.
And Doris for the Jazz in their trades. They've had a streak of coming out on top.
Well, to me, the front office deserves probably more praise than they've gotten. Not only for finding players in the draft, but also identifying players who are probably undervalued and who fit into the system that they're trying to play. It's what has kept a smaller market team like the Utah Jazz competitive for so long.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
You're just assuming at this point every shot he takes, it's going to go in. What a shooting performance.
And the jam by Sefolosha.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike.
Kevin, the vision by Rose, right? Hits the open man. He's creating for others, and this guy is so tough to deal with.
Jazz trailed by 19. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That'll be his second foul of the game. Alec Burks checked in for Joe Ingles. And stolen by Wiggins. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. From deep. And it's Rose missing. That's tipped. Here's Burks. Rose with the block. And here we go. Fast break. Towns has got it. He got it up. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
What a three at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
Boy, that was the perfect end to the period. You have no idea how much effect those buzzer beaters can have.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. Derrick Rose taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 33 points, 2 block shots, and 1 rebound. He's got one of those streaks going lately where it doesn't seem like he can be stopped. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
They have run their offense straight out of a coach's textbook tonight. Both ball and player movement have been excellent. And the result of all that movement, almost all high-quality shots they're generating. It's pretty to watch. Very good fundamental basketball.
And Shaq, how'd you think the Jazz were playing?
Well, there are a few areas they need to improve on. But perimeter defense is priority numero uno. They got to be quicker to close out on the three-point shooters. You got to prevent the open looks. They weren't fighting through screens.
And that should...
We come back to Minnesota now with a striking look at the 10th Avenue Bridge, downtown Minneapolis, off in the distance. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
I think you can look to specifically the patience and the shot creation. Really solid effort.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for Minnesota, Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. And it's Rose in at the 1. The 3. Good. Another from 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
A challenging stretch here for Utah.
You know, guys, you think about Jimmy Butler, drafted by the Chicago Bulls, and he goes from bench warmer to star. And I always had the sense that once Tom Thibodeau was no longer a part of the Chicago Bulls organization, that Jimmy Butler's days might be numbered there as well. But I think the trade ended up working for both teams.
Here's Rose, and again it's Minnesota converting.
Boy, this guy has had a major impact on this game. The scoring he has done has propelled them to this lead.
Rubio the pass to Gobert. And it's Rubio, that time on the assist by Gobert. 9 points for Ricky Rubio. And Doris, the Bulls are trying to change the culture, more run and gun. That new style didn't really mesh with Butler's approach.
Right. Remember, Jimmy Butler is a Tibbs disciple. Even he has said perhaps he was too confrontational. With that obsessive drive of his, it can sometimes maybe rub people the wrong way. I think he's trying to balance that intensity with positivity with this young group.
And it's out of bounds to the Jazz as Utah retains possession. Teague is checked in for Derrick Rose. And Utah also making a switch. Crowder's checked in. Utah calls timeout. We've talked about what it takes to be a great head coach, Doris. Qualities that you think are paramount to the success, for instance, of an assistant coach.
Maybe the most important attribute to an assistant coach would be coaching with your heart and soul like it's your job on the line every night, not just the head coach's job. Right? If you pour your heart and soul into something and make that head coach's job easier, then you've functioned appropriately. And the other thing it's allowed you to do is it's allowed you to accelerate your growth. You're constantly thinking, what would I do in this situation? That helps you in the long term.
Love that perspective. Gobert with a screen on Teague. Here's Rubio. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down.
Yeah, coming off that screen, wide open, just can't convert.
Well, I think, Greg, that's exactly what you want. The screen was solid. The execution just fell a little bit short on the shot.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Pass to Crowder. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
Puts one up from 19. And there's another one for the Timberwolves.
And really the story of the half, one team shooting it lights out, the other, the lights are just out.
Yeah, that's right. You said it. They don't find a way to switch it back on. They're in trouble.
And the call will be against Jeff Teague. That'll be his second foul of the game. Timberwolves on defense. There's the three. And Utah, another three.
How impressive is the catch-and-shoot game of Donovan Mitchell? I'll tell you, you better be there on the catch or he's going to make you look silly.
Pass to Butler. Jacks up a three. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 3 assists in the game. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Mitchell kicks to Crowder. There's the pass to O'Neal. Nice ball movement by Utah. Mitchell passes to Gobert. And here is Mitchell. Gobert, the screen. Three-pointer, Crowder. It's good from long range. Crowder's got his second basket of the night.
Boy, Kev, don't you love the way Crowder works off the screen? He knows what spots to get to and where. I think the trade for Jimmy Butler and other veteran signings accelerated the Wolves' rebuild. They are in much more of a win-now mentality.
Back to Rubio. Kicks it to Gobert. Passes it to Mitchell. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That is his first foul of the game. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Jones is checked in. Utah also making some changes. Thabo Sefolosha is checked in for Royce O'Neal. Burks comes in for Donovan Mitchell. And it's Exum in for Ricky Rubio.
Well, the defense, no time to react on the Rudy Gobert throwdown.
Timberwolves leading by 22. And Doris, Jimmy Butler with an opt-out after this season. Pressure on Minnesota to prove this team can be a winner.
And Kevin, their flexibility is a little bit hamstrung by their max contracts. They're going to need to find some value pickups and develop from within.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Well, Jay Crowder, a versatile forward to me who fits in so well with this team. He can hit threes. He can match up well on the defensive end. This is a player who has a bigger impact than his stats might indicate.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Gibson's checked in. And both free throws good from Crowder.
And Kevin, let's not forget, Jay Crowder is a former second-round draft pick. This guy has made his bones in the NBA by adding toughness to every team he's played on.
The shot from 20 feet away, and Wiggins gets it to go on the assist by Teague. Teague's got 4 assists now tonight. Utah has gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Gobert, the screen. Crowder dishes to Exum. Gibson with the steal. To the paint, Crowder with the steal. And now Utah, fast break. Exum leading the charge. Good work there as it goes.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Wiggins from outside. It's good for his 8th consecutive basket in only 8 tries. Wow.
And when you get this kind of shooting from him, 100% from the field, they're going to be tough to beat.
Here's Exum. That's a 2 from Crowder, and that comes off the assist by Exum. Exum's got his 3rd assist on the night. Stolen by Exum. No good. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting...
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the 4th. Utah has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the 4th quarter. Exum and Burks, they're back. Cephalosha is out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Favors in at the 5.
We know this. Jay Crowder is an effective shooter. Someone who can shoot the 3 well. You've got to get into his space.
A pull-up. Minnesota with the rebound. Now it appears an injury out on the floor, and that does not look like any fun.
Yeah, it looks like he's in real pain. Definitely a concern right now.
Well, these are the moments that can be gut-wrenching for him and his team, right? Anytime you see an injury like this, certainly your heart goes out to him and to his family.
Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Towns. Timberwolves leading by 20. And here's Rose outside. Buries the long-range jumper. Rose has got 10 points here in the second half. Utah has gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Pass to Cephalosha. Back to Exum. Over Rose. And Utah again with the bucket.
There's very little the defense can do to stop that. Dante Exum improving at hitting tough contested shots.
On its way from Rose for 2, and again it's Minnesota.
This guy's trying to close this game out in style. He's not going to stop attacking until he's sure this win is in the books.
Pass to Cephalosha. Back to Exum. From down in the low post, it goes.
Well, you love how Dante Exum gets inside. He's got terrific touch close.
Outside Rose. We're just over a minute and a half now into the 4th, and it's good. 2 points.
I tell you what, his accuracy has been the story of this game.
No doubt. I mean, he's doing his best to guide his team to victory. Superb job shooting the ball in this final period.
Outside, Jones. Back to Rose. He kicks to Jones. To the wing on the left. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Over Allen. And it's Jones, that time on the assist by Rose. Rose has got 3 assists tonight.
I don't think the pass could be better placed. That's a great assist.
Allen passes to Cephalosha. There's the pass to Allen. From 12 feet out. Rebound by Aldrich.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
connects again.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. Exum with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. Back to Exum. Passes it to Favors. Will it go? And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
I'll tell you, solid concentration from the big man. Derrick Favors fights through the contact thanks to all of that strength in his upper body.
A different look for Utah. Bradley's checked in for Cephalosha. O'Neal comes in for Joe Ingles. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Exum. Nunley's shot is good.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
A chance here to get a quick injury report. For an update on Karl Anthony Towns' injury, let's go over to David Aldridge.
Hey guys, the head athletic trainer for the Jazz let me know the status. Told me that in his opinion, the injury does not appear to be too serious. He won't return to the game, and he may not see the floor for a couple of games afterwards so he can heal up. Kevin, definitely tough news for him.
All right, David, thanks for checking in and letting us know how he's doing.
And let's just hope that he doesn't have any setbacks during his recovery.
Well, and barring any of those setbacks, Greg, I wouldn't be surprised to see him back ahead of the schedule they've laid out for him.
Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Minnesota. And Utah also making a switch. Udo's checked in for Derrick Favors. Buries the long-range jumper.
And every set they're running looks like it's designed to produce a triple.
Well, you love how the ball is popping outside on the perimeter. It's being moved and finding the open man, and they're cashing in.
Udo kicks to Rubio. Screen by Udo. 5 to shoot. Knocks it loose, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague. Burks, he's checked in for the Jazz. Here's Rubio. Shot clock at 2. No good on the quick 3.
And if he thinks that's within his range, then you know what? He's got a low basketball IQ.
I'm a little surprised he would even attempt that shot. Much better to swing the ball to somebody else.
Yeah, sprinting end to end, but under control. That's the key.
No, exactly right, Greg. You can't go too fast. He pulled that off in brilliant fashion. Exactly the kind of ball movement they're looking for.
Jazz have gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the fourth quarter.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. You can safely say mission accomplished now for the Timberwolves.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he has, just a monster game for Rose.
Boy, with all the work he did at the offensive end, it seemed to me to take a toll on the defenders. They could neither match his energy nor his intensity.
1:07 left to play in the final quarter. Pass to Bradley. Got a piece of it. Now Rubio. Jang defending. And Rubio kicks to Udo. Back to Rubio. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? Game's over now.
Right. Frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
At this point, they're completely overwhelming them. The opposition looks totally defeated.
And you can't help but notice that Ricky Rubio has grown as a player.
Well, he talked a little bit about losing his mom recently, and he was very close to her, and he said it changed his priorities and perspective on life, and that balance has translated to more effectiveness on the court.
And the Jazz making a change here. Favors is checked in. Tolliver with the bucket.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Oh, there's no doubt. This crowd is into it, and it's because of how well their guys have played tonight.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Pass to Udo. Favors with the screen. Puts up a three, and the basket by Rubio.
Well, the catch and shoot game. Typically, Rubio's on the passing end of it. Not this time.
Tolliver for three, and another three for Minnesota.
And that's how you answer back.
Well, you can tell that was a little give good, get good. Executed well on the offensive end, connects on the deep threat.
So it's Minnesota winning this one easy. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home, no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Jimmy, you have been out.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.